Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Hopefully everybody liked that video of the 20K service on the 2013 Fat Bob. Well, today we continue on with the Fat Bob, and what we're going to do is replace the rear brakes. And we're going to go over the list of tools that we're going to need. So we're going to need the 3H drive gun with a, give me a minute, a 1/4 inch 12-point socket. We're going to need a T40 socket, a ratchet, a putty knife, a metal putty knife, some good old brake caliper grease, and I'll show you what that's for, and most importantly, a rag. That's all we're going to need for this job. So give me a minute. Let me turn the camera around. We'll dig right in. All right, guys, one of the first things you want to do is grab your T40. You got 2 bolts right there. You want to zip them out, and we're going to clean those right up. And we're going to clean up that slider and grease that. That's what the caliper grease is for. So once that's off, you want to lift up on here, grab a small like pry bar, because you want to collapse the caliper as much as you can. And it's giving me a hard time. I hate it when it gives me a hard time, guys. So what I want to do is I'm going to open this bleeder. Give me a minute. All right, I got the caliper out. Yeah, it wasn't easy, but it came out. Now, remember that 1/4 inch 12-point socket I was telling you about? This is what's important about it. This is where we're going to take the pin out. Drop out the caliper. Now, what we need to do is we need to clean up everything that we have to do, or clean up all the slides and stuff. Like this one here, you just pop this out. If you look at this, this is very dry. That's not good. So we're going to take some of our caliper grease. It's made for brake calipers. Put it in there. And remember that rags I told you? This is where we're going to start cleaning stuff up. So we're going to clean up around the boot so it doesn't collect any dirt, dust, or anything like that. And I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Can't have it over lubricated, you know? You want these things to move freely, because if you don't, your calipers will stick. And that's the last thing you want. And you just slop, push it back in. Make sure that the rubber seats on both sides of the caliper. And you're going to make a mess on your hands like I just did. That's all right. Nothing a little fast orange can't do. Now that's moving nice and freely. And remember we talked about this bolt? We're going to lube this up, because this also is a slide for the caliper. It slides back and forth. So we'll wipe that down. We're going to wipe down inside of here where the little plastic bushing is. I'm going to pop it out just like take a good look and clean it. There's the bushing, guys. And you want that nice and clean too. So we're going to feed up our paper towel into there and clean out a lot of the old grease and grime that's in there. All right, so we'll put that right back in. Take a little bit of our caliper grease and we'll put it right on this bolt. Now this is the caliper mounting bolt that's towards the front of the bike. Not to be confused with the caliper mounting bolt towards the back of the bike, or the bolt that holds the brake pads in. Now, one of the things you want to watch for when you're putting your brake pads in is there's a metal shim on the back of one of these and not on the other. The one on the back goes towards the inside of your brake rotor. The one without goes towards the piston side of your rotor. So what that will having the orientation of that set up, we're going to line them up, put our bolt in. You know, this is not hard stuff, guys. It really isn't. Take our gun, and there you have it. All right, now what to watch for, if you look down here in the bottom of the pad, you got these little ears. And I'm going to show you where those go. And I did get my little light today, so let's see if this actually helps. All right, so if you look right in here, there's one here, then one on the inside. And that's where those ears of the brake pads will ride. So when you set this, put your brake pads in, you got to make sure your ears are riding where they're supposed to. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're not going to get your brakes back on properly, and they're not going to function properly. And actually, I don't even think you're going to get your brakes on at all. So let's work on getting our brake pads back in. This is always the fun part, because we're limited because the brake line itself is very short. All right, guys, let me get this done. I'll get right back to you. All right, guys, I got it in, but I'm going to show you how I did it. I found an easier way to do this. All right, so with that bolt out, what I did is I put the pads in where they're supposed to be, and I let them drop a little bit lower. I took my caliper and I put it over the pads, and now it's going to fight me. Couldn't leave well enough alone. I thought I found a nice, easy way to do this, and I wanted to share it, guys. And now it's really giving me a hard time. I can't believe this. But there we go. We got it in. We put our bolt in here. Make sure that it's threading in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flashlight to the other side and check and make sure that that inner brake pad is sitting in that saddle where it belongs, and it does. So we're going to take our first bolt, the one we did not lubricate, up, put that on. Now we're going to take the one we lubricated, and it's a little slippery, believe it or not. Put that in and start that by hand. All right, so we're going to grab our gun and zip all three of these bolts in, starting from the front for the mount, the back, and now here. And that's it, guys. That's it for doing your rear brakes on your 2013 Fat Bob. Just one last thing you really want to do, because you collapsed the calipers, you want to pump up the rear brake. And there it is. So you also want to make sure you put your brake line back into its little keeper here on the swing arm. Wipe off any excess grease that's exposed. Hey guys, if you have any questions about doing brakes on your bike, leave me a comment down below. I'm going to link this the 20K service into this video. All right, everybody, that's it. I know it's a quick, down and dirty video. There's nothing spectacular about it, but I do want to give you the part number for these rear brakes. That part number is 42298-08. That is the rear brake pad part number for a 2013 Fat Bob. And now his bike is done. It's ready for him to pick up. And rear brakes are done. The 20K service is done. And he's ready to go for the next 5,000 miles for his next oil change. And then the next big service after that would be the 30K. All right, guys. Until the next one, live the best life you can. Ride often and ride hard.
Like and subscribe to Dr. Harley.